am I reading? You wouldn't understand. I love American Psycho. Here, I can actually rate it for you on Letterboxd really quick. My favorite movie. You know, other really original hobby that no other guy like me has is philosophy. I just feel like I'm more compassionate, more pathetic than maybe a lot of the other guys around here. Taking this stupid thing off. There we go. Since the dawn of time, people have been doing things to try and impress those they love, or the object of their affection. And whether that was writing countless love poems, purchasing expensive jewelry, or trying to conform to the other's likes and desires. Hi, my name is Hailey. Welcome to my channel. Here we discuss all things media and culture, plus whatever I find interesting. Today's video is on performative feminism and the female gaze. Slash like male manipulators and pick-me boys. Simplified that being straight men who paint their nails, say how feminist they are, and listen to Lana Del Rey. But before we get into my gripes about this culture, make sure to like and subscribe. I post every single Sunday, so subscribe for more content from me. First thing is first. We need some background on feminism. And I'm going to make it very quick because I hate giving context on things. I'm going to give you guys the super quick AI generated Google response on what came up when I just searched feminism. So here's what that is. A social movement that seeks to achieve equality for all genders in all aspects of life. Feminism is a belief in the political, economic, and cultural equality of women. Its history can be divided into waves, each with different goals based on the previous progress. First, second, and third wave. So the first wave spanned from the late 1700s to 1800s, and the primary objective was just basically cis white women like wanting to be treated like people, but only cis white women. The second wave was the 1960s to 70s, and that one was a little bit more than the last. In the last wave we got the right to vote. Well, the white woman did. And now in the 60s, 70s, they wanted equality and they were challenging more traditional gender roles, but still not very inclusive. And the third and most recent wave of feminism was in the 90s to the early 2000s, and that one was basically a critique on the cis-het white feminism of the prior two waves and kind of putting that on its head, turning it on its head. And I don't know about you guys, but when I think of feminism, I think women's rights. But disregarding that, I would like to focus on what I think is performative feminism, specifically from men. Now, what do I even mean when I say the words performative feminism? Like, if you're just a feminist, doesn't that mean you're a feminist? No. When I say this, I mean this with my whole fucking chest. But there are literally some guys out there, as I'm sure you guys have probably interacted with as well, that will like put on this fake show and fake facade and act like they're basically like super hardcore, like, oh my god, I'm such a feminist, like, I'm a munch or whatever. And then they use it to kind of like hide their misogyny, and then once they feel like they're comfortable, then they'll let it all out. Or they'll speak over women. But basically the main purpose of that is to get bitches, to say it lightly. And I feel like all of us by now have had this experience with at least like one dude who claims to be a feminist or something, and like paints his nails and probably asks you to paint his nails too for some reason, because they all seem to love to do that. But yeah, they're huge self-proclaimed feminist, and then they end up being actually the worst person you've ever met in your life, and you're like, you're not a feminist. Don't know where that went, but that's definitely not you. It's usually a big fat layer of misogyny underneath. Once again, this does not go for all men. Like, please take this with a fucking pound of salt And like, please, like, just understand that this is not all men. Especially, I'm not trying to critique the men who are actually feminists either. I would like to make it clear that I am discussing the men who use feminism as an act and a facade to try and manipulate and speak over women. But let me paint a really clear picture here of the type of guy that I'm talking about. I'm thinking guy with nail polish, duh. Probably not black though. It'll probably be like blue or green. Probably a nose ring or nose stud of some sort. Bonus points if they have a septum. The baggiest pants you have ever seen in your life. Way too many selfies in his Instagram story highlights. And an ego that has surpassed the word massive. These men are a double-edged sword. There is a 50-50 chance they're going to be respectful of women. Or on the other end of things, they use it as a facade to basically say they're one of the girls as a veil to their overt misogyny and disrespect. And I think this is a very important issue to address, considering you guys, who I'm assuming are around the same age as me, at least that's what my YouTube studio keeps on telling me. And honestly, just like for my fellow peers, like all of us in college, or if you're in high school right now, around that age, where I feel like these issues are rampant because all of us are stupid and inexperienced. And I feel like also if you're watching my videos, then it's probably safe to say that you've also encountered one of these guys too. The weirdest example of performative feminism that I can think of isn't even in my own life. It's the feminist account on Instagram. And it's just like, purely the fact that it's ran by two cis men just really rubs me the wrong way, because I know countless peers of mine who follow that account and think that it's like super legitimate and that it is super feminist. And while they do post infographics, which are a whole nother ball game, they've gotten a lot of accusations in the past of having stolen artwork from women and using it as their own, and like other similar scandals about them stealing from women. And yeah, it just really rubs me the wrong way once again that like the biggest feminism Instagram account is ran by two cis men. Like, it just feels so performative and weird. Performative feminism of these men, especially the men who will follow that account and then repost infographics on their story, I think it's just like gone to a whole nother level of performative. And I feel like at this point they're trying to emulate and manipulate the female gaze, which is a part of feminist theory, which is a flip side of what's called the male gaze. The male gaze was coined by Laura Mulvaney, and it was a part of feminist film theory. This is what she had to say about it. The perspective of a notionally typical heterosexual man considered as embodied in the audience or intended audience for films and other visual media, characterized by a tendency to objectify or sexualize women. So on the flip side of that, the female gaze is basically the opposite of this. It's the way that a potential female spectator would view and perceive things, except usually without the objectification of men and sexualization of them. Not saying it never happens, but it is usually not about that. So, if we take this film theory and put it into real life, if these real life men are catering to the female gaze, which is what they think girls want, it means they're putting on a show of sorts for their female audience, who they wish to capture. And that's the issue with these men, is that they do everything in their power to try and cater themselves to women as much as humanly possible, to try and get in with them, have sex with them, manipulate them, whatever it is they want to do. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a few days since I started filming this video. I had to revise a couple things, finalize my thoughts on things, and do my makeup. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. In my own personal research, I've noticed a few signs to help you steer clear. Please take all of these with literally a pound of salt. Please. Like, number one, if they say they're one of the girls, no, you're not. You're not one of the girls. You are a boy. Stop saying you're one of the girls. This can also extend to men who say or ask if they're written by a woman. No, you are not. I'll never say yes, and you should not either. Feeds their ego. Number two, if they post on TikTok, especially thirst traps, run. Run for the fucking hills. Not to be hashtag controversial, but I found these guys to low-key be like narcissists. They're usually super obsessed with themselves and do not give a fuck whether or not anybody in their life lives or dies. Okay, that's a little dramatic, but usually they are very self-obsessed. Number 3, if they don't listen to you or any other woman in their life, other than their mom maybe, or try to tell people what their thoughts are on things in marginalized groups as their perspective of a straight man, being like, well, I think that bisexual people should do this or that. Like, you know what I'm trying to get at? Like, they insert themselves in spaces where their opinion isn't the first one that matters. An example of this would be a man who would claim to be a feminist, but then women would give their opinions on something within feminist theory, maybe, and then a guy dismisses them totally and speaks over them. There are quite a few more red flags for you guys to steer clear of, but if you guys want to see that, it'll have to be in another video. Let me know if actually you'd be interested in that, because I would totally be down to do like a girl talk, life advice type of situation, so comment down below if you want to see that. Okay, so speaking of these performative feminism boys, I wanted to touch on pick-me boys. Let me do a Venn diagram really quick to show y'all the overlap in the side-by-side comparison of pick-me's and male manipulators. Okay, see this? Welcome to my class. Welcome to my master class. After this, it'll be $5,500 per class. Thank you so much. Link is down below in the description. Listen up, students, okay? Okay, you're listening? You're listening? Okay, good. On this side, we have pick-me boys. On this side, we have male manipulators. This is my Venn diagram. What do they both have in common? Well, they're both usually kind of annoying, speak over women, and are both usually pretty insecure. But the difference between the two that really makes the biggest difference are that male manipulators have a really big ego and are usually kind of narcissistic, but the pick-me boys, no ego at all. Very sad energy. Sorry about it. To prove my further point, I just Googled some AI generated responses of what Google thinks a pick-me boy sounds like. And low-key they ate. No one ever talks to me. I don't blame you. Who would want to go out with me? Why do you even like me? I'm so weird. Nice guys always finish last. You're too good for me. I don't date much because women don't find me handsome. So yeah, that's basically a pick-me boy, to sum it up. Both are rooted in misogyny, and I don't want to say both of them are incels, but I would say that they do have very incel-like origins. And so that's a little strange, a little weird. Personally, I just want to end this video with a disclaimer saying that I have nothing against men. Please take this video once again with some nuance, with a lot of salt, a lot of salt. I just really wanted to touch on this topic because I think it's funny, and I don't know, I've been seeing way too many male thirst trappers lately on my For You page, so I wanted to do something about it. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post every Sunday, and you should give this video a double subscribe because I dressed up like a boy and I just made a Venn diagram of that. So pretty please subscribe to me, give this video a like, smash that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all next week.